I'm Dawn Jarvis. I'm your host today. I am a loan officer with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and I am also an instructor and an event manager for Cindy Bishop worldwide. And I am excited. We have a fantastic panel of people today that will be giving you a wealth of knowledge to help you take your business to the next level. And I'm excited to hear about that. And I'm sure I'm going to benefit from it as well. It's an interesting time that we're in right now. It's really challenging. It's probably the first time in a long time we're all doing these Zoom meetings and getting used to everything. And I'm sure a lot of you are probably concerned about, what's happening? What's going on with the economy right now? How is this going to affect my business? The great thing is that you are all essential. So you're still working. And to my understanding, things are still going pretty well right now as far as sales. But the challenge is we all have to do it a little bit different. But the one thing I want to say is that, you need to keep moving forward, keep educating yourself, and keep working in your business. The thing is that this is not the same thing that happened in 2008 with that recession. That was a housing crisis. What we have going on right now is totally different. It is a health crisis. Our economy was very strong coming into this, and then we just got hit. And it's just very challenging. So what I do know and what I've been learning is that we are going to get out of this. It's going to be probably a little rough to start with here right now as we're all going through this, but there's going to be a strong comeback with the economy, and it's going to be fast and furious when it does kicking in. So what does that mean? That means you need to be prepared to help be a part of bringing the economy back, because one of the biggest things that's going to make that happen is the housing market. It's you. All of you are going to be the ones going to help contribute that. So now's a great time to continue to educate yourself. Stay on top of your pipeline and the people, all your leads and prospects, and just nurture them. You might not get a lot that's going to convert into closed loans right now, but it's going to happen. People are going to sell homes. People are going to buy homes. And what I'm going to tell you is interest rates are going to stay low, historically low, for quite some time. It has to. We got to get people into purchasing home, refinances, and things of that nature. So what can you do? Like I said, keep yourself educated. Be the educator to your clients. Give them the information that they need to let them know that everything is going to be okay and you're going to be out there. Once you figure out how to declutter and take care of the junk and, get the house back on the market and everything like that, you're going to be busy. There'll be multiple offers again. We're going to get back to where we were at the beginning of the year. And so what that just means, and being the person who is there to be the educator and give knowledge to your clients. What I wanted to offer is as far as a loan officer, is how I can help you, is basically when you do get these offers on these homes, there's lots of things that you should be doing right now as best practice. And it's not only just now, but in the future. For example, we've got coming out, January, February was probably one of the historical first quarters of the year when business was just booming. And then again, we got blindsided with this epidemic or this pandemic. But when you get the offers in, it's really important right now, more than anything, is to make sure if it's not a cash offer, to call every single lender that has that offer in there. Find out, how do they actually get pre-approved? The biggest thing right now is not only, do they have great credit, employment is the big thing right now. Right now, we have to change our way of thinking and making sure that they have stability in their employment. So you want to make sure that you're able to do that when you're looking at these offers coming in, so you can make sure you can take care of everything up front and try to get the best offer for your client so it doesn't fall apart later on down the road. And this should be something you should be doing in the future regardless. And you're doing your client a service when you do that. The other thing is, how is the lender handling the business? Interest rates are low right now. We're all still busy. There's still offers coming in on purchases, so people are still buying homes. There's still buyers out there buying homes, and lenders are inundated with a full pipeline of refinances. So that's another question that you want to ask when you get these offers in. You know, how are you handling this pipeline of business that you have? I've heard a real estate agent get a phone call from a lender saying, you know what, we can't close your loan tomorrow because we don't have enough money in our warehouse line to fund that loan right now because we got hit with so many refinances. That's not a good place to be. Or we just couldn't get to it. We can't process it in time because we just have so much business and not enough manpower to do that. So you want to ask them, how can you do that? Because I know here at Fairway, we're a purchase business. So everything we do is to protect the purchase business. We're business as usual. 30 days, 21 days, whatever it takes, we're going to make sure that gets done. Refinance is just going to take a lot longer to get done. But that's just the nature of the business. We got to make sure that we do everything we can to protect you and your business and make sure that, you know, loans are going to close on time. So it's another key question to ask when you're looking at these offers that are coming in on these homes with that. So, you know, what I have today is another thing that you can give to your clients when you're listing. You can bring this to a listing agent. It's a guide that I have, and I'll show you what it is, what it looks like. And this is the selling guide. There's two guides that come out, and they come out seasonal. It's the, you know, spring, summer, fall, winter guides. And this is the 2020 spring edition here that I have. And it has a wealth of information that you can give to your sellers. There's also a buying guide too, but I'm going to focus on the selling guide right now. And hold on one second, let me get to my other screen. It's got some great information that you can leave them as a guide as a whole, or what you can do is you can piecemeal some of the information on there. There's, for example, there's 3 different sections here. What's happening in the housing market? Some great insight to some information right there that you can give to them. You know, why is spring a good time to sell? The other thing is you can piecemeal. Each individual page that's on here is an article, basically. Here's a good one right here. Having a professional on your side makes all the difference. So it's great stuff to give to your sellers on what they can do to best prepare to put their house together. I think there's a little checklist here on one of them. Here's one, how to prepare your house for a winning sale. Great checklist that will go in line with a lot of stuff that we're probably going to talk about today to get things noted. Look, a lot of people are looking online nowadays to find homes. So how is their home going to look good in pictures, right? That's where most people start. And it's not unheard of right now. There are people buying houses sight unseen. It's, you know, it is starting to happen. I don't know how long that's going to take, but there's some people that have to buy. They can't get into the house. Sellers don't want them in there. So it's important to make the house look good. And the photos make a difference there. So what I have here is this guide. For all of you that are on this webinar today, I will provide you a guide if you want. If you do want one, you can email me. In the chat box, I'll put my email and my phone number. You can call as well. And what it is, I'll co-brand it. This is the last page of the guide. It's going to be a PDF form, so you can print it all out and provide it as one guide. Or, like I said, there's individual articles on there that you can give to, you know, send information to your clients. And then I'll add information. There's me on there, and then you, your logo, photo, and your contact information will be on the guide as well. So it's a great, great marketing tool with that. Now, as we move forward before we move forward, what I want to mention is that, again, I need everybody to stay muted. If you have a question, please make sure to put it in the chat box to everyone. So I will go ahead and make sure I monitor that for everybody. But again, just keep yourself muted and put your question in the chat box to everyone. And then after we have the presenter present, we will have time for just a few questions after that. And towards the end, whatever we didn't get to, we will have some questions after that. So that was where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start moving forward with our presenters. Like I said, I'm really excited with the panel of experts that we have today. And our first person that we have, a lot of you might know, is Dave Testa. He's with National Settlement Services. He's with the title company. He's a native of Virginia. He has 2 kids. He attended George Mason University to study business. And he began his title career in 2003, so he's been around for a while. And he holds a Virginia title insurance license. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and he is definitely an expert in his field and is really helpful. What I say about Dave Testa is when he does a closing, he just, there's a lot of excitement in the room, a lot of anxiety. Sometimes that happens when people don't know exactly what it means, for a first-time home buyer or not. And he really knows how to just bring the comfort level to the room. And he's got a wealth of knowledge. He answers questions, and he expedites things and gets things moving along, so there's not actually a huge delay too. And you know what? Right now, like, how are title companies doing closings? Everything changes on a dime, and Dave's been fantastic at being able to accommodate the changes and making sure that business moves forward as usual. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Dave Testa.
Well, thank you, Dawn. So I'm Dave Testa with National Settlement Services. We've been around since 1988. So I just wanted to talk to you a couple of things that we do that helps ease your transaction, ease the clients, and really makes it a fun process, because I'm the last person that people typically see when they buy their home. So I definitely have an impression on their experience. So closings, what we're doing is we do remote closings at convenient times and locations. If you look in the top left corner, I did a closing yesterday for a client that is actually at Dulles Airport. And we were going to meet at a convenience store because the customer wanted to be outside, which is fine with us. We definitely want to make them comfortable with the pandemic going on. And so we met in the cell phone lot. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to meet at the original scheduled time, so I just hung out there for about a half hour to 40 minutes to meet him. And I'm a big Jeep fan, and we used my Jeep as the closing table. So I've done closings at people's property, at the new home. I've done closings at McDonald's, Roy Rogers, all sorts of restaurants. I actually even did a closing in a closet. The room was jam-packed, so the space that they had available was this closet, and I'm standing outside the closet handing papers into the customer as they're handing papers back to me. In time, I hear a lot of people say, well, they stopped closing at 5 o'clock. That's not a response I typically give people. I've had other title companies say, well, business hours end at 5, but that's their business hours, not necessarily my business hours. I've done closings at as early as 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, whatever works for the customer. Another thing that we offer, if you go online to our website, which I have at the bottom of the screen, we have a quote system. It is free. And what it does, it helps the agents actually get different types of quotes that they need for negotiating their contract. So you can get a buyer's quote, which will go over title insurance, recording fees, and sample closing costs. But the one that agents really like is the seller net sheet. I mean, you can break it down to all sorts of invoices that have to be paid out at closing. You can prorate real estate taxes. You'll know recording and transfer taxes. And all the costs that are associated with the sale that you can enter in, so you can have a pretty accurate quote when you're on a listing presentation, and you can tell your seller what to expect at closing. And then we also provide what's called a limited title search, and this is important, especially if you're working with a distressed seller. I've dealt with transactions where there was IRS liens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. That popped up at the last minute. And, if you take advantage of something like this as a listing agent, you're going to know if your client is telling you the truth or not. Because unfortunately, this listing agent was not aware that there was hundreds of thousands of dollars of liens. Luckily, it was able to get resolved with the IRS. But it's a good way to look for mechanics liens, HOA liens, government liens, things that can really affect the transaction. So if you guys have any questions about our services, again, you can send me a message through the chat, and also you have my email address. And I think up next will be Ann Lang.
Thanks, Dave. That's wonderful. Wow, a closet. That's crazy. There is a question here. Susan McKinney has a question. Is there a charge for the limited title search?
It's subject to the area where the property is located. So typically, if it's a Northern Virginia property, so Loudoun, Prince William, Fairfax, um, we're online with those counties. So we do that at no cost. Outer
Okay.
counties, we're not online with.
Okay. Fantastic. Does anybody have any questions for Dave before we move on? Just put it in the chat box if you do. Okay. All right. Well, next up we have Ann Lang with Home Warranty of America. How you doing, Ann? Now, Ann comes from a real estate background, and she's been in the home warranty business for over 8 years, and she brings a lot to the table. So she's got some wonderful tools that I think that she can share with you, which is very, I think, sets her apart from other warranting companies and is a great asset to you and your clients. Ann? Oh, Ann?
Hello.
There you are.
I wondered where everybody went. No, it's me. Hi, everybody. How you doing today? I put this on screen, but I do have a lot more to share with you. I've got some tools that I think are interesting. I'm not sure exactly who's online, so I'm just going to go over a little bit about my background. Again, I've been in real estate myself for about 20 years and in the home warranty industry for over 8 years, and with Home Warranty of America for 5. So Home Warranty of America is about 23 years old, and we are with a company, a global company, which is Direct Energy. So it's a very strong company. If you haven't heard of Home Warranty of America, our tagline is we're a 13-month warranty. So the coverage is for 13 months. And I'm sure that all of you are familiar with the home warranty. It covers the systems and appliances. And right now, it really is there for peace of mind protection as well as budget protection. The buyers that are out there right now are probably in a bidding war because of the low inventory. And so they are putting all their money towards an offer. And as a real estate professional, it is a great idea to give them a home warranty at closing. So it makes for a great gift. It will give them the protection for their budget because they aren't going to have a whole lot of money left at the end of the transaction. We offer 3 different plans, and there's customizable add-ons for those plans. We have no age restrictions, so when you get that home inspection and it says that the HVAC unit is old or the water heater is old, but it's in working order, that is a great time to couple it with a home warranty, because if it fails within that first 13 months, it is going to be covered. And we do cover unknown pre-existing conditions. And the best way to know if those are unknown is to take a look at that home inspection report. What did it say? Now, I know I've heard a lot of you saying that home inspections are not being done, or they're doing something a little bit different. I would say in that case, it is still a good idea to advise your client or help them to have that HVAC unit checked out. They should really need to know what they're getting into. So a good check can cost about $30 to $40. by that HVAC professional to have it taken a look at. I also wanted to show you my web page. See if I can click on that. There we go. So this is, it's a nice visual, and I've got realtors saying how easy it is for them to share this website with their clients. It's a good way to introduce me. It's a nice visual of all of our 3 plans. We offer a gold, a platinum, and a diamond. So they can see exactly what's covered. My contact information is up in the right-hand corner, so they can call or email me, and they can also see a nice brochure either in Spanish or English. So, you know, the best thing to do is to not be the home warranty specialist. Let me do that for you. And I love talking to your clients. I know that they're very happy after they've talked to me, because I'm going to tell them exactly what it is they're getting, what the expectation is, and what they really need to know about the home warranty coverage. So that's really, other than that, I wanted to show you some different things here. If I can get this off my screen. Let's see. I'll stop sharing somehow. There we go. All right, so now I'm back. So what I have are some tools for you to use. Right now, it's a great time to get listings. And I've got these door hangers, and it's, you know, you can mail them right now. You don't have to go around door to door. But what it's basically doing is putting a tool in your toolbox, because it says get a free HWA home warranty during your listing when you list with me, and then you can include your business card. We do have the free listing coverage. It provides your seller with up to $1,500 should something break while their home's on the market. And that's free, covering all of their appliances, their plumbing, electric, and we also offer heating and cooling as well. If you're not familiar with listing coverage and how that works, please reach out to me. I'm here, email or phone. So thank you. And did anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Anne. That was great. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't see the web page.
Oh, okay.
That was what that was on there. So if you want to just make sure maybe in the chat box, put your web page there so we can all visit it on our own and take a look at that information. But that was great stuff. There's a couple testimonials out there for you, though. Sherry Skinner said she's had the HWA warranty for 3 years, and she's very happy, better than most warranties out there that she's had in the past. So that's really good to hear. I know a lot of people ask about, you know, warranties and how easy they are to use. You know, it's great to have until you actually really have to use it. And sometimes you hear stories where it's really hard to get the assistance that you need with that. So that's good to hear. Sydney Bishop as well loves it too. And she says it's really great for like your investment properties as well, to have those warranties out there. So that's great stuff. Does anybody have any questions for Anne? If you do, just put them in the chat box there. Nope. All right. Thank you, Anne. That was great.
Thank you.
Next, I'm excited about this. We have young Kim of Staged Interior. Him and his wife Trish have started their business in their home 15 years ago, and they grew it into one of the most successful professional staging companies with over 2,000 homes staged and a total listing price of in excess of $2 billion. You know, with their mission of enriching lives through impactful creativity, the stage interior team, they strive to help realtors be successful so they can be successful. And I got to say, you know, a staged home makes a huge, huge difference. And I'm a very visual person, and sometimes it's really hard for me to visualize the room and the aspect of the room in size when there's no furniture in it. And if you can stage it, oh my gosh, it's even better than that when it looks beautiful. So next up, Mr. Young Kim, welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I am in my conference room in Shirley, Virginia, and actually I'm standing up. So if I stray too much, and I may get off the screen, but I'm comfortable doing this standing up. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for Dawn for your initial introduction earlier today, because the coronavirus, what we are going through, really is a medical issue. And my brother-in-law is an economist in South Korea, and he was on TV, and he was mentioning that, yes, this indeed a medical issue, not economical issue. What we need to deal is the confidence of the people, because as soon as we are over with this, I think the market will be flooded, and hopefully we'll get back up to where we were before this incident. So what I want to talk to you about today is that when you have your listing, I want to make sure that you are able to either work with us, or work with other staging companies, or give you some couple of tools that you could put in your tool belt so that your listing will look apart from anything else on the market. Let me see if I can move that forward. Anything else on the market. You know, you want to make sure that your listing is such that when buyers walk in, well, they can't walk in right now, but when they see it online, they want to say, wow, I love this house and I want to visit the property, instead of saying, wow, I don't think I can live here. And if they still want to see the house, you know, I'm sure they will want discount. So we want to present you with a couple of things you can use to differentiate yourself from other realtors. Just to quickly talk to you about who we are. Trish is the creative director of our company. She had been an interior decorator for 18 years before we started in 2006, and I was in IT. And we started this company from our home, and it grew into a larger business just because we are trying to keep up with the demand. We are very active in Northern Virginia real estate. I am a realtor, but I do not practice. I have the license so that we can keep track of our staged home statistics. We are active in Northern Virginia Building Industry Association. We go to furniture market all the time to refresh our look. And we also in Inman Connect up in New York at the end of January to learn what the realtors and brokers are learning, and from the top real estate companies. And luckily, I did not come back with coronavirus, so there's a blessing for that. So like Dawn mentioned earlier, our company's motto is enriching lives through impactful creativity. We have grown into a company with 20 team members operating out of 21,000 square foot warehouse in Chantilly with a fleet of vehicles. But at the end of the day, even though we are a staging company, we want to enrich lives of our realtors by working for them, and at the same time, enriching lives of our clients, your clients, so that we could be enriching lives as a team. We are members of a couple of well-known professional associations, International Association of Home Staging Professionals and Home Staging and Design Association, and we won many awards throughout the year. We're also huge in giving back to the community through Home Aid of Northern Virginia, and the picture that you see is that we furnished entirely the Brenda House for Joe Gibbs Youth for Tomorrow project going back a few years. Now, in terms of what we want to do today is that we want to talk about some strategy and some options, and there are some misconceptions about staging, and then what kind of result that you can expect. So we are here as a staging company to help you to be successful. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And we want to make sure that when the buyers see the photos of your listing, we want to make sure that each room is presented correctly with proper use, because there's a saying that confused mind do not buy. We want to make sure that there's no confusion about how the rooms are presented. So that's what we are trying to do. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of uglylistingphotos.com or similar websites like that. Actually, this room is not too bad. It's very nicely tidy up, but I think there are too many furniture pieces to show how big the room is. So the way it is arranged is almost unbearable, right? Pun intended. So, so when you take a look at that, actually it's not too bad, but we want to show the room as a little bit without too many furniture pieces, because we are selling the space, not the stuff. This is a listing photo of an actual listing in Springfield. I got this off of MLS back in early March. So there are realtors out there putting up listing photos like this. And how can anybody walk in and buy the house? Maybe this is a tear down, I don't know. But even missing drawers and anything, it's crazy. But it's out there. Wow. When buyers walk in, what do you think they're thinking? A lot of work to do. It's going to take just coats and coats of paint. So what we're trying to do is eliminate as many objections as possible from the buyers. We come in and help, we provide paint color suggestions and other light update recommendations for light fixture changes like that. So. Now, this is not a listing photo. Actually, this is our master bedroom. It's our bedroom. About 2-3 years into the business, we were using our house as a warehouse, and we were using our bedroom as a accent chair storage room. The foundation and the bed frame are in somebody else's house. So we are sleeping on the mattress on the floor. So I just wanted to throw that in there. This is the actual house that, before pictures of the house that we staged. It was a townhouse in Leesburg. The family was in a dire situation with a wife with medical conditions. They have 2 twins and another child, and house was very child-centric. So this was a multi-phase approach. We came in and specify what needs to be packed. So this is where our association with 123 Junk and Interstate with Sherry, the partnership comes in, because we specify what needs to be pre-packed and moved out, and they can help you with that. And then after that, we came in and have the unit painted and turned that into a house like this. So over the weekend, after house went on the market, the family went up to visit their family up in upstate New York, and within a few days, the house was sold. So they didn't have to worry about coming back with their kids to live in the staged home. So this is, we are trying to help you to cope with any kind of issue that your clients might have. So what is home staging? I'm sure most of you already know. Home staging is the process of preparing homes for sale, regardless of location, price, or condition. There's nothing anybody, including the seller, can do about location. The price, that's where you, the realtors, come in with your expert opinions about comparable market price. We don't actually even touch pricing issue at all. Some sellers say after we stage, hey, what do you think our price is going to be worth? As we actually don't know, you need to make sure that you work with your realtor because we are only concerned about the condition of the house, and that's where we come in. And staging is different from decorating because decorating is all about the homeowner, whereas staging is all about the buyer. And so our audience is the buyer. And I don't want to say that we don't really care about the home sellers, but we need to, we staged the listings, your listings, to make sure that it'll fit the buyer demographic. So why is home staging a must in today's market? This graph is prepared by Dan Fulton of Fulton Research. He is a local real estate statistics company, and he is very active in Northern Virginia Building Industry Association, and we as well. And this is the statistics from December of 2019. And when you take a look at first two bars, they represent millennials and younger, and they represent 55% of the buyer demographic. And if you throw in the third bar, which is Gen X, which is 54 and younger, and they represent 73% of the buying demographic. So they actually don't want to do anything. Their mentality is that they want to buy, they want to come in, and they just want to live. So that's why we need to make sure your listing is ready for the buyer to come in and just move in. And we are here to make sure the listing photo is attractive because 95% of the population, they are doing the search online first. So it is a must, and it must be part of your formula, especially this day and age when there are only private showings or virtual showings. When the buyer agent is in the house, they are communicating with the buyers who are not at the property, especially for vacant properties. When it is properly staged with right size furniture, the virtual showing should really represent the rooms well. So I believe this is like online dating. With the online search, they're going to do next. They're going to be swiping until they see a house that looks really, really nice. So that is a must in terms of what we need to do. And we have a saying, actually, it is not our saying. It is from Gary Keller's Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, chapter 5, I believe. He says that right pricing gets you in the game. Home staging will get you the offer. So we have been using that tagline quite some time since I read that book years ago. So the selling strategy is that every listing is unique, and every listing has its own story, and we're trying to help you differentiate the listing from anything else in the market, and we want you to dominate that market. What that means is that if anything is going to be sold in your farming neighborhood, it's going to be your listing, not anybody else's. And we want to make sure that your listing appeals to the broad range of buyers. And we want them to connect emotionally when they open the front door and just throughout the touring. Because I heard that the average tour, they spend about 6 to 10 minutes at the property, and we want them to linger. We want them to test drive your listing. We want them to come sit around with their kids, their parents, for extended family, and want them to spend as much time as they want so that they can connect. So what are the top 5 results of home staging? Obviously, it sells faster. I just worked on the most recent statistics for us. The homes that we staged from January through March 31st and that went to closing, our average days on the market is 6 days. And from NVAR's statistics, they did not have March data, but the first 2 months, their average day on the market was 29 days. So our 6 days versus just general sale of 29 days. For more money, our close price over listing price was 100.3%, and NVR was 99.4, which is not bad at all. It's a great number, but still almost 1% over other listings. So that's our personal testimony about selling faster and for more money. And also, we want to take away the stress away from you and from the clients. And so your client will be satisfied through the home staging service that we provide through you. And then you will have the reputation of getting your listings sold, and then you will get more referrals. I mean, that's logical. So we view our partnership as realtors. You are Batman, and we are Robin. We are here to help you as a partner, not as a hero. You're the heroes. So let's talk about Occupy staging projects. It starts from consultation, and then sometimes we come back and do the touch up and bring some other stuff from our warehouse as well. At this time, during this coronavirus challenging season, we put a moratorium doing occupied staging, but we still do consultation through virtual consultation. So whether it is through Zoom, FaceTime, or from the realtors or clients sending us pictures, we are able to still do the occupied consultation so that we can tell the clients what to do. I will show you our consultation report in a few seconds. And actually, this is our consultation report. So room by room, we put notes and we specify what needs to be kept in the house and what needs to be removed. And that's where 123 Junk and Interstate Moving Company come in. And then we also talk about how to repurpose some of the furniture pieces, like for moving round table from the living room to the foyer. And we also specify what we believe we should bring in from our warehouse, from our inventory to complete the look. So very comprehensive report that we provide for a consultation. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. This is during the Christmas season, house in Vienna, and very dark. And what we did was we suggested the painting of the walls and also taking down window treatments. Window treatments are very personal. Even though, let's say, some of the homeowners, they invested $20,000, $30,000 20, 30 years ago, very personal, and it blocks a lot of light. So we recommend taking down window treatments so that we could bring outside in and natural light in. We turned that into a house like this. We didn't bring anything into this room, I believe, but the new paint and window treatment being down, the house looks really, really bright, and it actually sold over the weekend with at 100% of the listing price. This is the same house. It is perfectly fine to use the room however you want during while you're living in the house, but when you trying to put it on the market, we recommend putting it back on its original purpose. So this bedroom was used as a TV viewing room and exercise room, and we turned that into a room, the main purpose, which was the bedroom. So that's what we do, just very few examples of occupied staging. Now, in terms of vacant staging, we do resale vacants, builder spec homes, model homes, and mainly do partial vacant staging. I can think about maybe 5 times we did a full vacant staging every single room. Those are for high-end builders. But for resale vacants, we recommend staging the main level rooms and the master suite, and we believe that'll bring the best return on your staging investment. So when you take a look at a room like this, it is, they're saying that 95% of the population cannot visualize empty space, and that's our purpose. So what we do is, actually this is our staging philosophy, that we bring out furniture, we define the space so that the potential buyers can see how the room can be arranged with their furniture. We don't believe in vignette staging, where you put like a little table on the corner just to put some pop color in. Some stagers and some realtors are doing that. For us, our philosophy is actually to define the space. So we want to take away the cold, we want to take away the cavernous echoes when they walk on hardwood floors. So this was turned into a very inviting room. The wall was repainted with a light gray color, and right scale furniture, and very, very inviting. And this is the same house with wallpaper, and we had that taken down and have the light fixture replaced. Same house in the breakfast room, not much is done, but we brought in a light colored furniture and open up the space by not having chairs with the backs. Trish loves using benches, so very, very spacious. And the seller is in the process of packing things up, and this is the result of the staged property. So this is an example of resale vacant. We also do a lot of build-a-spec homes. This is a home we recently staged in Basil Road in McLean by Artisan Builders, one of the most prestigious custom builders in our area. Regardless how impeccable the quality is, when you walk into a room like this, it's just the same challenge. You hear the cavernous sound, you just don't know how to arrange the room. We put in very appealing furniture pieces, and this house is very modern. So Trish put in a right style furniture for that as well. This is the family room. She used two sectionals. The room was big enough to do that. Master bedroom, and this is how it turned out. We also do very small spaces. This is a studio unit. When a small room is empty, it looks smaller, but when you bring in a right size furniture, it just scales the room. So this is the outcome. Even though it's a small space, we were able to come up with the two different areas. The room behind the open shelving is we put a day bed in the back there, showing it's a bedroom sleep arrangement, and then front is the seating area as well. So there are a couple of things that you need to do that, as you recommend, as you work with your clients, or you bring us in to work with your clients. We can write up a very comprehensive report about the paint colors, flooring, and lighting changes, and also countertops, backsplash. And even though we don't do the landscape, but we recommend cleaning and redoing the mulch, because we want the sellers and we want the buyer realtors and the buyers, as they approach the neighborhood, as they approach your house, your listing, we want them to see the manicured landscape and say, you know what, this house must be really, really well kept and maintained, because that's the perception, right? So this is an example of the painting, and we turned the purple wall into a light gray wall, and then we positioned the bed, and it was sold over the weekend. This is an example of light fixture change. It's an occupied home in McLean. We had the seller replace the light fixture and then use their table and chairs. And we thought it was going to be, it's on a little older home in McLean. We thought it was going to be taking quite some time to sell, but I believe it was sold within like 7 or 8 days. So that is what I wanted to share. And my email address is youngkim@stagedinterior. If you send me or through Dawn or Cindy your email, I will send you a couple of lists. One is a pre-staging checklist. The other one is a pre-showing checklist. So if you have, if you send me your email address or Dawn or Cindy, I will share that with you as well. And if you have any questions, let me know too.
Wow, that's fantastic. Everything. I wanted that one house, that modern house. Is that, how much is that?
I think it is a $3.5 million somewhere.
Sold. I'll take it.
Oh, cool.
That is beautiful. It makes a world of difference when you, I love what you're saying, the staging of the home is not, you know, in interior design, and that's because you're staging it for the buyer, and it makes a world of difference.
Right.
I love it. If anyone has any questions, you put them in the chat box. There was just one question, and I don't know if you're going to be able to answer it, but the question is, what's the minimum cost of staging?
We do as much or as little as the seller's budget allows. Like I said earlier, we don't believe in vignette staging. So if you were to do vignette staging, it will be very low. But we do small one-bedroom condos, and you also saw the studio unit. I believe that was like $1,500. But one-bedroom condo, two-bedroom condos, they start at like a $2,500 and $3,200. But during this coronavirus season, we are offering 2 months staging for the 1 month period. 2 months staging for 1 month price. Yeah. So townhouses and single-family homes, they start at somewhere around $4,000 depending on the size of the house.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it sounds like to me that's part of the cost of selling a home, and I think it's going to help get a good return on the home. Like you said, the days on market it just totally shortens that span right there, and the visual, people just, it appears that, you know, it's move-in ready, opposed to seeing the other homes. I mean, you look at the paint on the wall and you have to paint it and clear up the clutter and everything like that. So I think it's a excellent investment. So we'll be
speaking of investment, another saying that we have in our industry is that the investment in home staging is always less than the first price reduction. Because when you do a price reduction, it's going to be $20,000, $30,000, right? So our staging investment is not like that. So so it'll sell quickly and you'll get your money back.
Well said. You need to come and stage my house.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to live in it. That was great. Thank you so much for that, Young. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next expert on our panelist, and it's Neil McKinnon. He is with 123 Junk. He's a part of the business development team, and he was born and raised in Brooklyn. He lives in Springfield, Virginia, with his wife, Yona, and 4 girls. So he's a little bit outnumbered there. He's been on the development team since 2018, and he appreciates the company's culture, including a focus on customer excellence and community service. At 123 Junk, they support their referral partners by making junk removal as easy as 1, 2, 3. So without further ado, take it away, Neil.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me this morning. That's why I look like this right now, is because I'm very outnumbered. And there's really no place for me to go hide. So I'm locked in the basement right now. Hopefully it'll stay quiet for a little bit. I'm Neil McKinnon, as I said, with 123 Junk. And today I'm going to be talking about not only what we do, but also how we can help you in this crazy time that we're in. Keep contact with a lot of your clients, and some of the programs that we're running right now to help you market yourself a little bit, but also let people know that you are an asset to them by your being able to share some of the services that we do in these crazy times. So I'm going to go into who we are. So brief introduction, 123 Junk. Well, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar, but what we do is we go into people's homes and remove unwanted items. Those unwanted items can consist of just about any and everything. We'll go in and come for just a table or a chair, or we'll do an entire home clean out. We're licensed and insured to go into every nook and cranny of that house. So we'll go into basements, we'll go into crawl spaces, we'll go into attics, just any and everywhere in the house. We'll even take down small sheds, yard debris, pretty much any and everything you could think of, we get out. And how we remove stuff is, or how we charge is by volume, by the amount of stuff that we take out of the house. So that's how we charge. Another thing that we do is our 1, 2, 3 process. 1 is to donate, 2 is to recycle, and 3 is to dispose. So I'll go into that a little bit more, but it's really important for us to try to donate as much as possible from the things that we take out of the house. We know how much of a struggle that is right now because a lot of charities are closed. So go on to the next slide. As I said, this is me. Those are my 4 little girls, 4 under the age of 11. So it's a real busy time at my house right now. I'm not only a junk man, I'm also a 5th, 3rd, and 1st grade teacher in preschool. So yeah, real busy time. And my wife actually is a signing agent. So she is out there every day still signing, helping people secure their loans. So it really is daddy daycare at my house right now. Those are the Wheeler boys on the left, Colin and Kevin. Those are the guys that started the company right out of Chantilly, Virginia. So we're right down the road, locally owned and operated. We're a small business, struggling a little bit in these times, just like anybody else. So we're here to support the people that support us and give them the best that we can in this trying time. I think Young touched on this, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But when you remove junk before you sell a home, it saves you time, it saves you money, and it saves you damages. A lot of people try to take care of the removal themselves, and a lot of times they end up doing more harm than good. So it's really important that you have a legit junk company to come in and remove the items from your home. You don't want to use some of these fly-by-nights or hire some day laborers a lot of times because they're not licensed and insured like we are. If we're able to damage anything inside of a person's home, we're going to take care of it ourselves. And also in terms of what Young says, the home stages much better, it sells quicker, and it sells for more or above asking price, or what asking price is or more. So it's really important that the house be ready to stage. And if we're in there and we're removing items from the house, we'll move stuff around to help people stage their homes while we're in there. Now, a lot of times people will try to think about using a dumpster over junk removal, but you still have to get stuff out of your house when you use a dumpster. And I've seen it, and I'm sure you all have seen it a lot of times when people have a dumpster. It's really difficult because anyone could put stuff inside that dumpster. So a lot of times your dumpster becomes a neighborhood dumpster. And as I said, you have to remove the items from your house yourself. So that takes up a lot more time. And then it's really unsure about who's going to provide the safety for that. As I said, we're a one-stop shop for charities. We work with a lot of charities in the local area. And what has happened to us in this new Corona era that we're living in right now is a lot of charities have stopped accepting goods. So charities are not accepting goods, and it's become really difficult. But fortunately, we are still using our facilities to hold items for charities, and then they're still coming to pick up stuff from us. We have a charity pickup that's actually going on today. So we try to take as much stuff back to our facilities and store them so that when charities are able to pick stuff up, we're able to have them there for them, even though they are not going to people's actual homes and removing items. So it's really important that that's one of the things that we know that we're there for, is to support our charities and make sure that we're able to keep as much stuff out of landfills as possible. Here are some of the things. I'm going to try and go through this really quickly. Reasons that charity refuse stuff a lot of times is stability, saleability. They're not able to resell the stuff that they have. They have too much stuff in their inventory, and because it's damaged in transit. But right now, the COVID era has just had them locked in on they just don't have the facilities to make sure that stuff is clean. They don't have the personnel to make sure that they can get out there and pick up the stuff safely. So they've just decided a lot of times to postpone or not actually take that stuff away. Things that we can't take. We can't take hazardous materials. So your paints, your chemicals, and that type of stuff we are unable to take. A lot of times what we end up doing is boxing that up and setting it aside so that you can come in and actually remove those items. Or we can refer you to a third party to come in and actually remove those items. Now, this is what we're trying to do right now to assist realtors and folks in terms of getting the stuff out. The first is we have a 10% discount to anyone that puts their stuff on the curb. That allows us to go in and pick the stuff up. They work out everything through the office so that our team comes in, removes the items. They don't have to go into the house, and they're able to sign and pay all online so that it has no effect on what they're doing. Another program that we're running at right now is Operation Curbside, where we're discounting our trucks by $125 so that people can, or $175 so that people can get their stuff out. If they want to partner with some neighbors and team up, everyone gets a fifth of a load of stuff. This is a great program that agents are using to touch their communities. So this is a sample of the sheet that we're sending out right now, and we partner up and we put your logo on one side and ours on the other, and we send this out. And we've signed up about 4 or 5 agents to do this deal already. One agent has already signed up about 10 trucks, from what I've heard, to do this in his neighborhood in DC. So it's a great opportunity because I understand that bulk trash is not being picked up in a lot of areas and people are home stuck and they want to get rid of stuff. So it's a great opportunity to touch and form a community if you're the person bringing this type of deal together and collecting neighbors' names. And it's at no cost to the agent. So it allows you to really reach out to your community and help them in these trying times and show them that you're a person that they can come to for information. So it's a great opportunity, as I said, to reach out to those folks. Once again, I'm Neil McKinnon. I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. I know it's getting into lunchtime, but does anyone have any questions?
If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box. Neil, that was fantastic. You know, a lot of people are stuck at home, and what a great time to go ahead and do some spring cleaning. It is spring after all, and it's time to do it. Everybody's got the time to do it. And I think that's a great service that you have to do the pickup and have that all cleaned out. And I hear your girls in the background, you beautiful little girls.
It's amazing. They were dead quiet the entire time that you guys were, that everyone else was presenting, but as soon as I could, they're like right here.
You are super dad for sure, definitely. Oh, hold on, I lost my chat box. Okay.
No, it's okay.
Well, that's fantastic. 1, 2, 3 junk. You know, if you know of anybody that's looking to spring clean right now, or, you know, come to meet your neighbors, people who need to get the houses ready because the spring market is here. People are still buying homes. Go out there, get the decluttering done, get the junk out there. You know, what a great way to get that done and have it out to the curb, get your neighbors to do it. And get the homes ready, because you're going to get busy, and you don't want to be doing this when they need to sell their homes, when, you know, the market's hot and now it's time to declutter the house and get all the junk out. So give Neil a call. Neil, anyone who's interested in the co-branded flyer, just let us know and we'll make sure we get that out to you. Okay. Fantastic stuff. Go take care of your girls. Next up, we have beautiful Sherry Skinner. She's Client Services Manager with Interstate Moving and Storage. She was a realtor in Florida for 15 years prior to moving to Northern Virginia. She's an active member of multiple boards of realtors and is the 2019 NVAR Affiliate of the Year. She considers her position to be that of a moving concierge for realtors and their clients. So, Sherry, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you for having me. It's good to see some of you today. Essentially, what I'm here to talk about is what to do with the items that that you'd like out of the house, but the sellers do not consider it junk to remove out of the house. So it's things that they want to move to the next house, but you'd like it out to sell the house faster. And things that when you get a nice list from Staged Interior, that he's put on there that should be removed so they can bring in their items, or just to declutter the house in general. it really comes down to time and money on what the options are to choose from. The seller could do a total do-it-yourself. In this scenario, it usually takes 3 to 4 weeks for them to rent a storage unit or get an on-site container brought out to their house, pack up all their items they want to remove, and then they physically move it into the storage unit or that on-site container. If they are using outside labor to help them do this job, it can actually not be the most least expensive option for them. They're doing everything themselves, and this might be the least expensive option for them, but it's going to take you longer to get the house on the market. The second option is they can do a partial do-it-yourself, where they pack up their own boxes that need to get taken out, and then they hire a professional mover like Interstate to come in and pick up their boxes and wrap their furniture that needs to be put away into storage, and then put it into a commercial storage bin. And this is, for us, it's a 4-hour job in the program I'm going to talk to you about in a minute to do this that we offer. And so it's all done in 1 to 2 weeks at most from them starting this process and getting in touch with us, and for us to get out a crew to take care of this for them. And this option, again, in the first option, if people were going to pay for labor, this one has labor included in it. So it usually costs about the same as a total do-it-yourself. The third option is have professional movers do everything. This is going to take much less time, but this is going to be the more expensive option. If we're coming in as a professional mover and we're packing all their boxes for them, then that's going to be probably the most expensive part of this, as well as just picking up the items and again putting into our storage containers and bringing it back. But this is definitely the fastest option because our movers can go in half a day, or if they have a lot of things to pack up the day before, the loaders will come and the crews will come out and load the truck and load it into the storage containers. The program that we have for the partial do-it-yourself, and this can be combined with a total have professionals do everything, is our Clutter Buster package. And we've been offering this package for longer than I've been with Interstate. I've been with Interstate for 6 years now. This package helps you get the house on the market pretty quick. It helps you broach the subject of you need to get some things out of your house. If they don't already have the list from the stager and you've told them what to take out, sometimes it helps you broach that subject. On this program, we bring the storage containers. We bring 2 of them out on the truck with 2 movers for 4 hours to load the items into these storage containers. It includes 2 months of storage in our storage facility, and we have 3 facilities. We have one in our main headquarters at Springfield, Virginia. We have one in Sterling, Virginia, and we have one in Landover, Maryland. So we can cover everything in the greater DMV area. It also includes $15,000 of coverage for their items that are put into storage, and it's a flat fee of $550. The question I get mostly about this is how large are these storage containers? So each storage container is 7 by 7 by 5 feet. So each one holds about 1,000 pounds. What that means to you visually is each one holds about an average sized living room of items. So we're usually picking a combination of furniture and boxes. And our men can put a lot of items into those storage containers because they've been trained to, I call it Tetris loading. So in this picture back here, you can see how we can fill up all the space in that container. If a homeowner is packing their own storage unit or a container they have brought out to their house, they're usually just putting things on floor level or maybe one level up. So even though our containers may look smaller than a self-storage, again, we can get a lot of things in those containers. We offer a free survey from a move consultant. We're doing these virtually right now. We can do it on any platform that is best for the seller. We can do it on Zoom. We can do it on FaceTime. We can do it on WhatsApp. It's a real-time appointment with the move consultant. They see what needs to come out into this Clutter Buster program. And the move consultant they've all been trained that they can say, yeah, that looks fine. You should fit into the 2 containers. Or, if they don't fit into 2 containers, we have multiple options. One is a 3rd container is $50 per month. So it's $550 plus $100 if they're in for 2 months. If they don't want to go over the $550, we can say prioritize. We'll put everything we can into the 2 containers. And then our men, when they're there at the house, can help move things into a storage area you might have in the house or the basement, wherever you want those items to go, or the garage. So the general time frame, and also if they do want more than would fit into 3 containers stored, then it just becomes regular storage. It is not this program anymore because this program is based on 2 men going out. So at that point, we just have to provide them an estimate and say, this might be, we'll give them an estimate on how much the storage is to have more containers and more men on the job. So they know what that is. But anybody refer to us for a local move, a long distance move, or storage of any kind, this program is already discounted, but if they're not using this program, then they will get a discount on their move for being referred through anybody in the real estate business. So a realtor, mortgage person can refer someone to us, a title company. And as long as we know that that's how we got the referral, they'll receive that discount. The time frame on this is right now, within 1 week, if a seller contacts us or you contact us, we can get that move consultant scheduled by the next day to see what they need to put into this, and we can get a crew out within a week. Starting about mid-May, we usually pick up on business, and that starts normally that's our summertime pickup, but we think that's going to be more the end of May, beginning of June this year. We're going to need a minimum of 2-week notice. So what I say is don't have your sellers call me and say, oh, my realtor told me they're going to have pictures in 2 days. We need to get this stuff out of here. We need more time than that. Especially right now, we need more time too, because right now we've been very fortunate. We're keeping our crews really safe. We are fully staffed up. But at any time, we could have a situation where we're down a few crews if somebody would have to get quarantined or something. At the same time as doing the move consultant doing the survey for what goes in the Clutter Buster, we will also provide an estimate on what they need to move to their next home when the house sells. So whether that's a local move or long distance move or international move, we provide that estimate for them. Or does everything come into storage from the house because they're building a house or some situation like that? So how do you choose a mover? We recommend that sellers get and buyers get referrals from their realtor. You're the best source for them. It's good for the realtor to be the professional that they always go to ask questions. That's good for you. To be that realtor. When I was a realtor, I wanted to be someone's realtor for life, like their doctor. So I'm sure you'd like to be the same for your clients. They can also ask for referrals from friends and family that have moved recently. I highly recommend that any mover that your clients use be members of the American Movers and Storage Association. That is like you being a realtor as opposed to just having a real estate license. You're a member of a board to be a realtor. So this is, we have agreed as movers to follow certain ethics as members of the American Movers and Storage Association. That's AMSA. Also, Interstate, we are also a pro mover certified. So that's like you having a designation that you take extra classes for real estate. So we've agreed to do a higher level of service as being a pro mover. I recommend that only moving companies be referred that will provide some kind of visual estimate. So normally we could send people out to people's homes, We can send the move consultant out to meet with people in their home, but now again, we're doing the virtual surveys. But that's still a good, eyes on what they're moving. During that appointment, they're going to ask them to open cabinets. They're going to ask them to open closet doors, so they can see what's being moved to get the most accurate estimate. And our company always wants to give the most accurate estimate. We don't want to give estimates from list people send us, or talk to them on the phone, or we don't have them fill out things on the internet and tick their own boxes on what they have, because people forget the things that are in the garage, the attic, the closets. And then they're surprised when the mover shows up, they suddenly owe more money. We want to give people the most accurate estimates we can provide to them. That's best for the seller, and it's also best for our company, because then our operations know what they're walking into, if we've had our eyes on it, and we can have all that information for them. This time of year, I recommend that people be talking to movers and getting, because most people want to talk to 2 or 3 movers to get estimates, that they talk to them at the very latest at listing time. I would recommend about 2 months prior to them planning to move, they just start talking to movers, so that when they get the house, at the latest, by the time the house goes under contract, they are booking a date for their move. Usually the most busy time, again, for movers, for every mover out there, is the last 2 weeks of June and the first week of July. I usually tell people, if they can avoid moving during that time, don't move during that time, because that is the absolute busiest time for all movers, historically. You can see I did these little calendars in 2018. This year, we're looking at the moving season being a little different. We're still expecting it to be really busy, but military moves have been put on hold until May 25th at this point. There's rumors that might even be pushed back a little bit into June. When military moves come online, every mover, every good professional mover in the DMV does quite a bit of military work. So the movers are going to get very busy. Department of State is also put on hold right now. We're going to get busy with that as well in June. So we want your buyers and sellers that need to move in that time period to get booked ahead of time with movers. So we recommend that if you have any buyers and sellers that are planning to move in May and June, that they're reaching out and talking to movers now to get those estimates from them, and that they can choose a mover and they can get on the mover's books. Our policy is, even if they don't know their dates and they book their move with us with question mark dates, they're going to have a priority over anybody new coming onto our schedule. So as soon as they know those dates, they can secure their place onto our schedules. We do expect that some movers are not going to last through this period of slower time for us to be having moves. Some have not adjusted to doing the virtual surveys, etc. I've already had 2 people contact me in the last 2 weeks that their mover totally bailed on them last very short notice. So they needed to find another mover, and we were able to help them. So we're able to help people in that situation right now, but it gets very difficult, and I hate saying no to people in June, but we'll get full dates in June, and so will other movers. So people do not want to wait to the last minute if they know they're moving. And also, some of the smaller movers that, some of them could possibly be a little cheaper than some of us bigger movers. Some of them aren't, surprisingly, because I just did some shopping on rates and was surprised at what some companies are charging. But some of those companies, they only have a few crews and a few trucks. So if they lose some employees because of someone getting infected or possibly thinking they're infected, then they're out of business for possibly a couple weeks, or they may go totally out of business. Because we are expecting it to get so busy this summer, when military gets back online and things get slightly back to normal with moving, I do like to let everyone know right now that we are hiring. So if you have college age kids at home that need jobs this summer, and maybe they usually work at a theme park or a restaurant, those jobs aren't available, they should reach out to us. We have paid internships, as well as we're hiring for packers and loaders and movers as well. And we provide all the training. We provide 2 weeks of training in our training house for all of our loaders, a week of training for our packers. We don't do on-the-job training, as far as you're thrown on a truck and you learn on the job. And that's really good for your buyers and sellers, because especially local moves are all based on time, and you don't want a mover out there that is learning on the job and has not been trained sufficiently, wasting time. This is just a little bit about our company. I found out yesterday that we actually received from the Department of State, we just got the highest marks you can get. We got 100 points for a mover, and we were one of only 2 movers that do work for the Department of State that got that rating. So our company is, because we do work for the Department of Defense, the Department of State, we have very high, and we train everybody. We have a very high quality of how we want our crews to always be doing their work. Right now, the crews are wearing gloves and masks. We're only putting 2 people in a truck at a time, because we want them to be able to socially distance. We're not sending out it. Usually we would put 4 to 5 people if they're on a crew together, in a truck and a cab together. We're only putting 2 at a time, so we're sending out 2 trucks, but we're not charging any extra for that if we need to send out 2 vehicles with a crew. We're also disinfecting the trucks every day when they come back to our facility. We're taking the crew's temperature when they show up at work. We're trying to protect, we want to protect our crews, we want to protect the buyers and sellers that are moving, and we're trying to do everything we can to help that situation, for us not to lose employees, as well as be careful with people in their homes. But we do ask the homeowners as well, and we talk to them ahead of time about ways that they can also mitigate, because these guys are coming into the job. They are not always able to socially distance from each other when they're moving a chair together or a piece of furniture, or wrapping it together. So that's why we also try to keep the same crews together as much as possible. So that is my presentation. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know.